I got to tell you, man, Louie was a huge influence on me. And I don't know if people see that, but like Louie was so honest about his life. And I obviously he divorced his wife. When he talked shit about her, I think he was being pretty clear. but it was like, I remember watching him do that. And I was like, yeah, like there are things that drive you nuts about like having kids. There are things that drive you nuts. And why not tap into that as opposed to...
It resonates more. You know what it's exactly like? Well, you know when you meet somebody and right away you have a conversation, like it's like you're meeting someone, right? And they just stay kind of polite and on the boundary, right?
That's it.
And you go like, oh, this is a nice person. But if you meet somebody and they're like, I don't know, man, I'm losing my fucking mind. Like my kids are making me crazy. And all of a sudden you go like, oh, I like this person. It's endearing. Yeah. All of a sudden you go like, they took a leap of trusting me, like me, who they just met with information that's real. And so then you go, oh, you lean into that person. You go, I want to connect more with this person. You're doing a version of that on stage when you share real shit. When you're real and honest, the audience goes like, oh, this isn't like just some bullshit.
Yeah.
This is real. These are real feelings and thoughts. And then, of course, you layer the jokes in there. But that's what Louie did the best and still does. And he kind of laid the groundwork where he goes like, if you're up there and you're telling the truth, watch how audiences respond to that. Because people weren't really used to that.
I remember watching, that was the vibe in like the late 90s, early 2000s it was almost to brand yourself, to become something. And it made me so sick where I was like, you're none of that shit. Like you'd meet them and you'd be like, you're not that person at all.
Yeah.
And then you'd see, I remember seeing Louie, and Louie was exactly who he was. Like I had just had Georgia and I had a bit about how great it was to have a kid. And I got off and Louie was, is it? And I go, yeah. And he goes, is it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And I was like, yeah. And then the next time I saw him and he's like, did you get some sleep last night? I was like, yeah. And he goes, think your wife got some sleep? I said, no. He goes, is it really great having a kid? And I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of nice being on the road. And I was like, yeah. And I remember him like just being... He was very, being honest, I don't think he liked me. Like at the time, I don't think he was like, this is a great guy. I think he thought I was a really hacky comic who didn't know where he was. And I think he was like, he's a nice enough guy where I could give him some pointers. I remember that weekend. Have I ever told you this?
You guys were working together?
It's the only time I ever worked with Louie. And we got along fine. But not the last Sunday, we're out by the bar and there's a magic book. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and we're at the bar before the show and I'm doing it with the staff and everything there in there has worked. It's like mind tricks. Pick a color, pick a number, pick a state, give me 3 cars, think of an animal. And you're like, okay, you go, are you thinking of an elephant? And they're like, I am thinking of an elephant. So it's a shitty...
Which club are you at?
West Palm, but the old West Palm.
Yeah, okay.
It's a shitty audience. The chief of police is down there. The sheriff is in the audience, and he brought his whole family. So you can their sensibilities off. They're sitting dead center, and he's sitting in the center. And he is basically... I go up and I bomb. And I bring with me this magic book.
You bring it on stage?
I bring it on stage because I was like, if I start bombing, I'll just pull out some magic tricks. So
you do this? You tell Louie you're doing this?
No. I just bring the book with me on stage. I do my act. I start doing my act, and then it's not going well. So I go, all right, you guys want to see something special? So I open the book and I do the fucking pick a color, pick a number, pick 3 cars, pick a state. On the count of 3, everyone say what animal you're thinking.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, and everyone goes, elephant. And everyone's like, what the fuck? I go, I know, right? So I flip to another page. All right, let's try this one. So I do like 5 in a row, and I see Louie on the side of the stage pacing like, the fuck is he doing? So I get off stage. I go, ladies and gentlemen, Louie CK. I get off stage. I know Eric Myers brought him up. So I get off. I'm off stage. I get off stage. I see Louie, and Louie goes, "What the fuck are you doing with the book?" And I go, "Can you believe they work?" And he goes, "Of course I fucking work. It's in a goddamn book. But now I gotta follow the fucking magic tricks." He goes, "I mean, you just mesmerize an audience with getting. They all guess the same fucking animal. I guess the elephant too." So he goes up stage and he starts fucking. So, how's everyone doing? Starts doing his first bit, second bit, and he's like, God damn it. Bert, give me the fucking book. So I bring the book up to him, and he goes, all right, which one do you guys want to do? Yeah, he was really sweet in that he was like, he was, him and Attell, like, and I mean this because I'm friends with both of them now.
Yeah.
But I don't think they liked me. I think they were like,
you say that about a lot of people.
I think they were just like, they were like, he's a nice guy. Yeah. I like everything about him off stage.
Yeah.
But the second he goes on stage, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
And I think they were trying to get me away from that cringe part. But I was so derivative at the time.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.